Hey everyone, today we're going to learn how to find trigonometric values by using trigonometric identity. Let's have a look at this example, which is if sine theta equals 3 over 5, find cos theta. So first of all, before starting answering the questions, we need to know what is trigonometry identities. Well, trigonometry identities, which is sine, cos, and tan, or I would like you to remember them as SO, CA, TOA, which SO stands for sine, opposite divided by adjacent, and CO stands for cos, adjacent divided by hypotenuse, and TOA stands for tan, opposite divided by adjacent. So, let's say we have this right triangle, and we're calculating for the certain angle, as you can see in here. So, which would be the hypotenuse, which would be the adjacent, and which would be the opposite? Well, we know the hypotenuse is the longest one, or the sum of the both vectors, which is this. And then the opposite, it depends on the angle that we're calculating. Let's say that we are calculating this angle. So the opposite will be the blue line, which is here, and the adjacent will be this line. So let's answer the question that I showed you at the beginning, which is if sine theta equals 3 over 5, find cos theta. We know that cos, or which is CAH, equals to cos adjacent over hypotenuse. And we know that sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So what that says is that 3 is opposite and h is hypotenuse, because we know that sine theta equals opposite divided by hypotenuse. And we know that cos is equal to adjacent, over hypotenuse. So let's see the triangle. We know this triangle is a right triangle, and as it gave to us the opposite and the adjacent, we know that the opposite and the hypotenuse, we know that this is the hypotenuse, which is the longest vector, and the opposite, which would be in here, which is the blue one, because it's opposite to the angle. And we want to find adjacent. Well, how to find adjacent? We would use Pythagoras theorem, which states a square plus b square equals a square. We would rearrange it for adjacent, or let's represent it as c, which would give us square root of 5 square minus 3 square, which would give us 4. How did I rearrange it? I would minus b, and then, okay, let me write this, minus b squared, so I cancel this term, and then square root. This can't be c, let's represent it as a. And so the answer is 4 divided by 5. 4, which stands for adjacent, and 5, which stands for hypotenuse. So this is our last example, which states if sine theta equal 1 over 2, find tan theta. And we know that sine stands for opposite divided by hypotenuse, and we know that tan stands for opposite divided by adjacent. And so what that says, that 1 over 2, which sine is equal to, so sine equals theta 1, which equals 1 over 2, so the 1 would be the hypotenuse, and 2 would be the 1 would be the opposite, and the 2 would be the hypotenuse. So let's see that in a right triangle. So let's say that we are calculating this angle, and so the hypotenuse is 2, as you can see in here, and the opposite is 1, as you can see in here. So we want to find out the adjacent. So to find out the adjacent, we would use Pythagoras theorem that states a square plus b square equals a square. And if we rearrange it, it will give us a equal square root of c square minus b square, which is c in this example is 2 and b in this example is 1. So by calculating that, it would give us square root of 3. So the correct answer is tan equals 1 divided by square root of 3. And so that's all. Thank you for listening.